In the Brexit agreement, the EU and London only agreed on an extended, at most 6-month transitional provision on data transfer between companies. But first, don't miss out the live stream on the channel of Maximilian Robespierre tonight at 9:30 GMT. I'll be his guest tonight. Even with the trade and cooperation agreement between the EU and Great Britain agreed at the end of 2020, as we say in Germany, cow is not yet off the ice when it comes to transmitting personal data between companies on both sides of the English Channel. The agreement only provides for a further 4-month transition period for data transfers since the new year, which can be extended to half a year. Since the turn of the year, the United Kingdom has been a third country within the meaning of the General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR. Initially, there was a grace period until December 31st, 2020. Without the agreement, a transfer of personal data to the British Isles would only have been permitted under the strict requirements of Article 44 of the GDPR. Given the diverse existing supply chains and interwoven business processes, this would inevitably have led to great legal uncertainty and possibly ongoing data protection violations. According to the EU Commission, this 1390-page German contract generally aims to facilitate digital trade by removing unjustified obstacles and creating an open, secure and trustworthy online environment for companies and consumers, as well as high standards for protecting personal data, and data handling in this protected way should be guaranteed. There should be no rules for the local storage of information. The political leeway of the EU with regard to data protection remains. On the EU side, a long-term solution to private business data flow requires official certification that UK standards are broadly the same as those of the Union and as those set out in the GDPR and the Parallel Police and Judiciary Directive. According to the Brussels Government Institution, Great Britain must also comply with specific additional requirements in this area, which result from the opinions of the European Court of Justice. So this one is still involved in the relations there. According to its own statements, the Commission has been working intensively on its relevant adequacy decisions for the United Kingdom since March. As soon as they were satisfied with the information received, they would start the adoption procedure immediately. The European Data Protection Board, the EDPB, and the member states would have to give their place for this. And I don't mean the fish. The bridging solution should guarantee stability and continuity until then. Shortly before the finish line of the Brexit, it worked to receive the data transfers to the United Kingdom, said the Rhineland-Palatinate Data Protection Officer Dieter Kugelmann. Serious difficulties for the affected companies are avoided initially. But the companies shouldn't run out of breath. It is important to prepare for an end of the transition period in order to adjust business processes if necessary. The Commission sees the inspector's duty to present viable adequacy decisions in a timely manner, which also take into account the current ECJ case law. Even if companies can hope for such a decision, they should not rely on it. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has repeatedly emphasized that with Brexit, his government would pursue a line detached and independent from the EU in terms of data protection. There could then possibly no longer be any question of a comparable level in this field. The work has not yet been done, warned the IT umbrella organization Digital Europe. The EU must quickly take an adequacy decision. A recent relevant study shows that 6 out of 10 European companies transfer data between the EU and Great Britain. Ensuring the security of EU and UK citizens from common and evolving threats such as cross-border crime, cybercrime and terrorism remains a shared priority, the Brussels executive added. This requires effective and fast collaboration, the exchange of data and analyses. Any cooperation with a third country must go hand in hand with solid and permanent guarantees for the protection of human rights and fundamental freedoms of the individual, including data protection. The British no longer have direct access to the Schengen Information System, the SIS. According to the Commission, the agreement contains ambitious provisions for a timely, effective and efficient exchange and protection of passenger data. A prerequisite for this is that London recognize the relevant EU laws and follow the requirements of the ECJ ruling on the PNR agreement between the EU and Canada, which has been suspended for the time being. According to the tome, the same applies to the rapid mutual exchange of DNA, fingerprint and vehicle registration data. Here, Great Britain is the first third country to be treated in the same way as the EU signatory countries to the Prum Treaty, concluded in 2005, as long as it maintains comparable protection standards. Access to national databases takes place in this context in a graduated procedure on the basis of specific hits for search queries. Potential disputes about the protection of fundamental rights in the area of criminal prosecution and justice should initially be resolved through a special arbitration procedure. If this is not successful, cooperation in the sector can be suspended or terminated, for example in the event of a serious breach of obligations under the agreement. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel and to my other channels. I'll see you in my next video. Bis bald.